love my life. Like, even though there's great sadness, there's also so much joy. There's so much joy. And I want to spread that joy. I want to be a joy bringer. There are certain pillars in my life that I live by. I live by the pillar of joy, the pillar of truth, the pillar of wisdom, the pillar of freedom. Like, those four pillars, like that is what gets me through like my day-to-day life. Like, I have joy. I wake up and I'm happy that I'm alive. I was happy in my dreams and I'm happy that I'm alive. I love truth. I love, like, even though no one human will have 100% of the capital T truth, I'm getting as close as possible. I'm getting that 99.99 repeating. Like, that's my quest in life, to get that truth. I like wisdom. I like discernment between what's right and what's wrong. Sometimes I do what's wrong, but I feel bad about it. And I like doing what's right. I like doing what's right more than I like doing what's wrong. So there's that wisdom. And then there's freedom. Like, the freedom to express yourself. The freedom to criticize a system that wants you dead, that wants you suffering, that wants you miserable. And it's like all of this culminates in sort of this revolutionary sort of paladin of like this sort of symbol of peace that I've sort of made for myself. Like, I've decided to embody the anime archetypes that I really like. I really like those wholesome heroes like All Might, like Superman, like I really like empathetic sort of, you know, good guys. Like, I really like living like that. And, you know, I have a dark side. I do have a dark side. I do have anger. Sometimes when someone abuses me for too long or just crosses that line, I snap on them. And it's like, you know, it'd be better if, you know, like, even if I transmute that anger into joy, they feel even more miserable because they didn't break my spirit the way they wanted to break my spirit. And that makes it even funnier. Like, the other day, my brother, he came along, and, like, I offered him a cigarette or whatever, and then I told him that he had, like, a restraining order. He's not supposed to be 500 feet around my dad, and suddenly he started snapping and threatening and cussing and doing all this stuff, and I was just laughing. You know, this is the guy who threatened my life with a shotgun. This is the guy. Like, he's pathetic. So, you know, I pray for his long-lost soul. You know, I pray, like, I had a dream the other day where he wasn't an asshole, asinine, you know, bitch of a man. He was actually a renowned astrophysicist that taught me, you know, calculus 2. He taught me vectors and stuff. That was the dream. That was the dream. And it was like heaven. And it was like, I redeemed him. He redeemed me. We had fun. We had a party. It was wonderful. You know, there were Pokemon involved. It was crazy. It was a wild dream. But, like, in reality, it's like, in reality, I just, like, I was just thinking that nobody really knows what's going on to the extent that God knows what's going on. You know, like, God is in control. Like, that's an axiom for me, that God is in control. Like, what you can have the thought, there is no God, but as soon as you formulate that thought, there's a God. There's a God in your thoughts, you know. Alan Moore has this quote that the one place that gods and devils are indisputably exist are in the minds of men. And they're real in all of their frightening glory. Like that, it's something along those lines. But, you know, it's like there's a constant question mark over my head. And when I find an answer, it turns into an exclamation point. But then there's just more question marks. There's just tons of questions that I'm constantly cycling through and constantly answering. And when I get a bunch of answers, you know, it's like a eureka moment. It's like, that's why I say they're exclamation points. It's like exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Like I found out that pi is a normal number. I systematized it. I used quantum mechanics as a metaphor to understand that it can be both normal and non-normal based on your axiomatic reference frame, based on how you delineate pi. If you delineate it linearly, then it's not normal because you'll never be able to manifest everything. And if you don't do it linearly, if you do it non-linearly, then it's obviously normal because you can just reorient yourself. And, you know, that's a feather in my cap. That means I'm a legit mathematician, or math magician, because mathematics is magical to me. Like I am completely insane, just like every other mathematician and stuff. And, you know, not everything you do has to have like this insane, immediate sort of world-changing value. Sometimes it's just valuable to you and your friends. Sometimes it's just valuable to a stranger that you strike up a conversation and, you know, you have value. But it goes back to those four pillars: that pillar of joy, that pillar of truth, that pillar of wisdom, that pillar of freedom. Like when they combine, like you can literally, like you have a limited omnipotence. You have the ability to do anything you want. When you move with joy, when you move spreading that joy, when you move with truth, that unshakable sort of like impossible to contradict. You can't drug me out of my truth. Like when you have wisdom, when you know when to speak and when to remain silent, when you know when you can do what you want to do. And I serve an awesome God. I just serve an awesome God. I was watching a podcast about good gets better or something like that, and shout out to her. But you know, it put me on fire for the Holy Spirit, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just proselytizing.